Hello, everyone. It's William here at Allegory Gallery. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope you are doing really, really well out there today. I see Kimberly has joined us. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you for hanging out. If you're out there, please say hi. Let me know that you are with us and hanging out tonight. Um, sorry, oh, that's that. Okay. Whew, it's been a day. Um, I've been doing a lot of stuff at the cottage today, mostly up there all day. I did some errands. I didn't get a chance to go to the grocery store today, so I'm hoping that I have enough leftovers from yesterday and the day before. Andrew is spending the evening at Touchstone. They are having a night where they're having a little get together, and I think they're doing kind of some kind of meet the interns kind of thing. So he's going to be staying down there um, until later tonight. We may still be going when he gets home. I don't know. We'll see. Angela is here. Hello, Angela. Um, but yeah, I'm very stuffy today. You can probably hear it. So um, I'm trying to cool it down in here. This room is really warm. I didn't have the air conditioner on today. We turn them off when we're not in rooms generally, um, because there's no use running it all the time. But hello, Suzanne. Thanks for joining. Um, but I didn't get in here early enough to turn it on earlier, so I'm like roasting a little bit right now. But I hope you all are doing great. It has been a busy day. Me and the cats have been hanging out with Andrew going down to Touchstone. He's going back and forth every day. It's about an hour to an hour and a half drive there each way. So he's spending 2 to 3 hours just driving every day and then taking his class. I have not seen him very much. He comes home. Usually, if he's helping me with the live, or he did the live, he started it yesterday. Um, but we do the live together, and then I've been trying to do the cooking so that he can relax a little bit. So I've been cooking, and then we sit down on the couch and we watch a little TV in the evenings, and then he goes to bed. I've been staying up a little bit later, but he's been trying to get to bed as early as he can because he has very early mornings and long drives and long days. But he's having a good time. He's making lots of cool stuff. He showed me a preview of some stuff he made today, which was pretty wild. I don't know if he's posted about it yet or not, um, but it's really nice. Lots of work he's getting done. Susie says, hello, love vintage. Thank you for joining us. Angela says, I am with you. Looking forward to vintage. Oh, good. Susie is here. Other Susie is here. Says, hi, everyone. Hello, neighbor. I hope you're doing well. I hope China's doing well. It seemed like we had all good news there on all of our pets, thankfully. I hope everybody is great. It has been quite a whirlwind day. I started out the day doing some laser stuff. I had to get some stuff done on the laser this morning. I had all intentions of just getting up and going right up to the cottage today, but then I remembered I had some laser stuff to do. I didn't get it all done, but I worked on some laser stuff till I hit a stopping point, and then I made a Andrew. We were talking about that blueberry dessert he was talking about making yesterday, and we didn't get to make it yesterday, but we kind of bought enough, I think, for two different things because I got two pie crusts and enough for two things. So I don't know what Andrew was planning on making with it, but I ended up making a no-bake cheesecake. Um, and I tried to incorporate some of the blueberries in the cheesecake, but I don't think that worked very well. I didn't add a lot because I wasn't sure how it was going to work. Um, and I don't think they were really going to flavor it much. So in planning, I made, I thought I made what I normally make, but either the graham cracker crusts are getting a little bit smaller than they used to be, um, which is probably the case. They probably shrink them a little bit to, save on money. Over the years, I haven't made one of these in a while. So the amount of stuff that I made, kind of overflowed the crust a little bit. So I got to eat a little bit of it. But I'm planning to put blueberries, I think, on top. And so, or when it's served, maybe we'll make like a blueberry, um, mashed blueberry topping of some sort. I don't know. But I made that today, figuring, I know Andrew wanted to make one to take to his class, I think tomorrow. So I didn't want to make another one in case what I was doing didn't turn out or he had other plans. But I did make one for us. So I've got one made, and I'm trying very hard to wait till Andrew gets home to dig into it, though it is not easy because I love that little no-bake cheesecake recipe. It's one that it used to come on I think it used to come on the pie crust, the graham cracker crust. They have a paper on them that you pull off that's kind of semi-glued down. And they used to put recipes on that. And I think they still might put recipes on some of them. But my mom did this when we were very young. And it's a very quick recipe. There's not much to it. But it is something that I love. We used to make it for my grandmother for her birthday. Her birthday was the 4th of July. And so making it around this time kind of brought back those memories a little bit, and I just love it. So I made one tonight, or earlier today, before I went up to the cottage, in between doing lasering stuff while the laser was working, and then put it in the fridge to cool, and then got my stuff, gathered it up, ran up to the cottage, packed a bunch of stuff, organized some stuff, started on a few other things up there. We're working on our portable sink. So I worked on that a little bit. There's something going on with it, and I had to try to fix it. I have not fixed it yet. So we'll keep trying. But did that, and then came home, took Barnaby out a little bit, and even Idabelle went outside a little bit today. I took Idabelle out. We're taking the girls out a little now that they're healing. Tallulah is healing a little bit more slowly, I think. We didn't have Neosporin. We ran out of Neosporin. Well, actually, we misplaced the Neosporin, and so she didn't get as much. And so she's healing a little bit slower. The Neosporin really helped the healing for the other two. And so she is healing a little bit slower, but she should be able to get hopefully her cone off very soon. And then in about another week or so, we'll talk about maybe letting her come out. But Idabelle and Gertie, every once in a while, I'm letting them come out on the back porch with me and watching them very closely, so they can kind of get their bearings as far as going outside like the boys get to. But Barnaby and Gilbert went out with me earlier today, and then when I got home from the cottage, I took them back out. Took Barnaby out and Idabelle out a little bit. Barnaby went directly to the catnip plant and made himself, I think, very high. He just kept eating it and eating it. And then he laid down on the cement and just started rolling around and playing with stuff. So that was kind of really cute. But then I had to bring him in, and as soon as I picked him up, he started panting. He was very warm out there, but he loves the heat. If y'all saw my little video of him out on the cement panting, he loves the heat. Hey, hello, Heather. Thank you for joining me tonight. Teresa's joining too. Thank you so much. Cats are so funny, says Kimberly. Yes, Barnaby, he's a hoot. He's such a cute boy, but earlier today, he stayed on the porch almost the entire time. But this evening, he was ready to go, and he ran out to the catnip plant and got himself high off the catnip and just rolled around on the cement for quite a while I watched Idabelle. And she got to come out, and she walked a little bit on the back porch, and then she came on the sidewalk a little bit and in the side flower bed just a little bit. I didn't let her go too far. But hey, Norma, thanks for joining. So yeah, that was, and then I had to do some emails. So I emailed a few people, um, and planning some stuff that I have to do tomorrow before I go to the store tomorrow morning. And then I gathered some stuff here for tonight, kind of. I might be running back and forth here in the room to do some stuff, but um, we have um, we have some of these vintage lots that we showed once upon a time, quite a while ago, and never showed again. So some of our stuff tonight is going to be from there. I'm also, I think, going to pull some checked glass, and we'll see what we get into tonight. See what we get into and what's going on out there. So my day was busy. How was all of your day? Let me know in the comments. How are you doing? What's going on? I've not been in the world news today, so I have no idea what's really going on much in the news today, which is kind of refreshing. Normally, I check the news either in the mornings or in the evenings, sometimes both. And today, I have not looked at the news at all. So maybe that's good. Maybe I don't know, but I feel like it's done me better not to pay attention to it today. Um, Kimberly says, today drug out way too long. Some days are like that, right? My day is flying by. I have no idea how it is a quarter till 8 already. I have no idea. I don't know how that's even possible. Um, yeah. I even got up a little bit earlier today, so my day is actually longer than it normally is. Um, and it's already almost over. Well, not really, because I stay up till like 2. Um, so I've got like another 6 hours to go. But usually 2 of those 6 hours are with all of you, at least. Lately it's been 3 to 4. But at least 2 of those hours are with all of you. And yeah, so that's life today. Let's see. Kimberly says, in my job, holidays in mid-month are treated as a floating holiday, so I am taking my Juneteenth holiday tomorrow. Nice. That's nice you get to do that. Yeah, that's good. Um, People keep asking if we're going to do the creative make-along tomorrow. I actually don't know. I don't know what's happening. Andrew might be around. He might not be. I will be at the store and doing things in the morning, and hopefully I get all my errands done in the morning. If not, I may have to do things tomorrow evening. I am 100% not sure, y'all. I wish I could say we might just skip this month, as much as I hate to do it because I love the creative make-alongs. But I might just do a quick selling show tomorrow, depending on when I get home and what's going on. It just may not be the month for it this month. I don't know. We'll see. Suzanne says we are still not ready to paint, but very close. Oh, good. That's been taking a lot. It takes a lot. I don't envy you. We've talked about painting our house, the inside, in certain rooms. Like this room has this paneling. We could paint this paneling, yes. I kind of like it. I kind of like a dark room. I kind of like the darker walls, the darker colors. So I don't really want to paint this, but our dining room area and the kitchen are kind of a bright yellow color. And over the years, we never painted it when we moved in, and it was a little bit faded then. And over the years, just having things like having art on the walls and stuff, there are light spots and dark spots. You know how it goes. And so we've talked about that. We painted our kitchen cabinets when we first moved in, but we didn't really sand them down before we painted them. So not all the paint has, clung to them as well as it could have, I think. And I don't know if we used the right paint. That was another thing. So they're kind of getting a little bit scraped up and scratched up. And so, and the living room as well, and the entryway, they are all like the plaster walls. But if we do the entryway, then we got to do the staircase, then we got to do the upstairs landing. It's all these things, right? Once you start, as I'm sure you know, once you start, it's hard to not do it all. And then we have so much stuff. So much stuff. And, you know, we have beads everywhere because sometimes we do the lives here from the house. Sometimes we do the lives from the cottage. The ultimate goal is to have all the beads at one point at the cottage. I think that's the ultimate goal. That's kind of an ultimate goal for me. I'd like to have everything there, and then we always just do the lives from there. Unless it's just a talking live or a demo live, then we do it from here. The goal would be not to have to do selling lives every single day so that we can do some of that other stuff. But it's all a work in progress right now. So I don't envy you at the painting because I know how much it would take for us to get ready to paint and to mask things off and to clean things up and to move things around. Not my idea of fun, but the end result is lovely, right? And it does make it worth it sometimes, maybe. Hello, Teresa. Thank you for joining us. If I didn't say that already, I don't know if I caught you there. Susan, I miss Susan too. Hello, Susan. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Oops. Let's see. Whoa. Norma says, today I went to the library to complete the last 2 squares of their bingo. I checked out a book bundle and a ukulele. You gonna learn the ukulele? Are you gonna try and learn it, or are you just checking it out for bingo? How about it? What's going on? Here, this is because all the state tax have sales tax due on the 20th, so we are filing returns. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Vicky says, I'm an antique, but I love vintage. Hello, Vicky. Thank you for joining us. Heather says, my husband just commented on your paneling and how it looks like ours. Yeah, this came with the house, and I know it's like that. It's like 70s, 80s, but I like it. I can't help it. Andrew keeps trying to talk me into painting it a lighter color, but I like the mood that it gives. I like having the lights on lower, like I have the desk lamps around and the floor lamps around. I rarely turn on the overhead light except for when we're doing the live. Generally, as soon as the live is over, when I'm doing the spreadsheets, I turn off the overhead light because I like things a little bit darker, which makes Andrew a little crazy because he likes things to be bright, and I like to walk around in the house when it's dark. Like, I will use my phone flashlight and not turn on lights in the house. That's just the way I am. I walk around with everything dark, and I use my phone flashlight if I need to see to get around, so I don't trip on cats. But I prefer it like that. I don't like a lot of bright light, and these lights can change colors, so I usually dim them and turn off the overhead light when I'm doing the spreadsheeting. Overhead light just makes my eyes hurt. Like, I get headaches, I feel like, from that. So I like the kind of moody look, and I like the dark paneling. I know it's a dated thing, I know, but I like it. Sorry, I like what I like, right? Norma says, I posted in the triers about the bingo prompts. I had to get something from the library of things, and the ukulele was one of the few choices. It should be interesting. I don't know when you posted in the triers, Norma, but I've barely been online today. I hit and ran with a few posts. Facebook came up with a memory that I shared from a picture when I was back in New York City. I shared it 10 years ago, apparently, but that picture is from 2007, those 2 pictures that I shared. That was, I took those pictures just before I met Andrew, like a few days, I think, before I met Andrew. So that's, yeah, I posted those because it came up as a memory. I posted a few other things in my stories from that series that I've never posted before. And it's like series William with a wine glass. But yeah, that's about all I've been on Facebook, really. I jumped on really quickly to share this event, and that was it. Yeah, it's been too busy of a day. So I don't know if maybe it was yesterday. I've barely been on Facebook lately, so I'm sorry I didn't see it. But I'll have to take a look because that bingo thing is interesting. Um, Susan says, that's okay, no worries about the creative make-along. My crafty room gets so hot at night. I hope we leave the ultra-hot and humid weather soon and go to regular summer weather. I'm hoping, that's another thing I meant to do today was check the weather. It looks like it's going to storm out here. We're getting the skies are like a really, really pretty gray-blue right now. They were grayer earlier, but the clouds are coming in kind of a dark gray with the blue sky and a little bit of white. It's actually really pretty. Coming home from pottery yesterday, the sky was this amazing, like cotton candy uh, blend between like pink and orange and blues, and it was so pretty. Anyway, what's the weather? It is supposed to rain. It's saying we're going to get rain for the next hour or two. And then we're going to drop into the 80s with 60s at night next week, even into the high 70s. So that is nice. I hope the humidity goes down. And then that'll be lovely. Good weather. Let's see here. Where am I here? Susan says, I need to get another bookcase. Looking for use as we are both over put together. Over put together stuff. Yeah, I like putting together furniture actually. Like, I love an IKEA trip because you get new things, but also I love to put the stuff together. So I actually kind of like that. But I know some people do not. Andrew does not. He usually lets me just do it because he doesn't care to do it. But I kind of like it. It kind of is meditative for me, and it gets my mind off of other things. But I get that. It's good to look for use too, because then you not only save money, but you save resources, which is good. Heather says, same here. Both love our paneling. Yeah, it's good sometimes. You gotta like what you like, right? You gotta own it. Suzanne says, someone said we should redo the countertops and backsplash, but who has that kind of money? Yeah, that's a lot. And, if you're okay with it, that's all that matters. I used to I still do worry a lot about what other people think. It's the way I am, and I'm trying to get over it. But, if your house functions for you and you're fine with things, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no reason, my aunt used to know somebody who won like big money, multi-million dollars in the lottery. And she did not have a big house. She kept a small house, but she renovated her kitchen, I think, 4 different times in a short period, like within like 5 or 6 years, they renovated the entire kitchen like 4 times, and she went broke. And so, it's things like why do the things if you don't have to, right? Who are you trying, like they say, keeping up with the Joneses? I'm a Jones. I don't have any need to keep up with myself or with other Joneses. I used to be more like that. I used to worry about that stuff. I used to feel like I needed to keep up with people, but I just want to be, comfortable now and just have things that work for me. And yes, I want more wealth. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to, be sure I can pay all my bills. And we don't make a lot of new bills. We have a lot of stuff, personally, as far as personal bills go. But, making the house payment, making the car payment, just want to be able to do those things. Making any loan payments we have, that's what I want. And just have, not go crazy with feeling like I need to update everything all the time and have everything new all the time. And it's just, I think there comes a point in your life. I think when I was younger, I know for me, I felt like I had to keep up with people. I feel like I had to, do the things that other people my age were doing. And I always, of course, looked at people who were probably overspending, and instead of people who were like being more conservative at my age. And now as I'm getting older, I'm just like, I just want comfort. And if, my kitchen counters, they're fine. I don't need to, redo all that. I probably would like to repaint the cabinets, but it's not necessary, right? Um, and I really don't want to do that work. I don't want to throw that as an extra thing in because we've got a lot of other things we need to do instead. But yeah, why, you know? And even if, like who does have that kind of money? And even if you did, is it worth it? Is that what you want to spend your money on? Sometimes yes. Sometimes a kitchen remodel is needed, or it would truly make you happy. Maybe you're somebody who loves to cook and you want a better kitchen and better appliances, and that makes you truly happy. Good, go for it. For me, that's not what makes me happy. The type of refrigerator I have or the type of counters that I have, changing that does not make me any happier. I would rather spend my money on other things. Norma says, there were no instructions with the ukulele. Hello, YouTube. Feel to be a true spirit of the bingo, I have to at least try it, right? Um, uh, um, Jennifer Van Benschoten. I don't know if you all know her, if you follow her. I think that's who, um, I'm pretty sure she does the ukulele. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm thinking of. And Jennifer Van Benschoten. And sometimes I think she comes on the lives every once in a while. But she does the ukulele. I don't know if she teaches it or not, but I think she has some YouTube videos about it. Um, but yeah, definitely. She's a maker and an artist too. Sue says, I like the wood paneling. I guess I'm just weird. Yeah, I don't think you're weird. Because I mean, I know I'm weird, but I think it's okay to like the wood paneling. I think it's homey. I think it, like I said, I like darker spaces, and I don't think it looks terrible. It kind of looks like wood. If it looked like it was super fake, I guess that would be something, but kind of actually looks like wood. So, and I like wood. Um, Heather says, same here. We both love our paneling. Our baseboards are original to the house, which was built in the 20s. Yeah, right. Um, Suzanne says, Heather, these old houses, ours was built in 1890. Wow, that's awesome, though. Sue says, my night vision is not great, but I still prefer some shadows over the overtly bright white paint jobs I've seen on social media. Yeah, I feel like my night vision is starting to change, too. It doesn't as quickly adapt, those rods and cones or whatever it is. Um, I don't, my eyes don't as quickly adapt to dark as they used to. Which is why I run around with my flashlight on my phone all the time. But yeah, I don't want the stark, bright white. That's not for me. I had that in some of my college apartments because, that's what the landlords would do. They just paint everything bright white because it was cheaper and easier. But I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's see here. Oops. Teresa says, I love wood paneling. We have it in our living room in my husband's family home we inherited. Yeah, I like it too. Me too. Teresa says, most of the rooms in my house are wood paneling, but they have all been painted by previous owners. Yeah, I think Andrew would love to paint this brighter, but I have been the holdout because I like, this originally was my office. He had what we have as the guest bedroom now was his office and his studio before we got the cottage, and this was my office. And his room is square shaped, so it was easier for him to have a studio in there. This room has very weird walls. It has, yeah. It's because the stairway comes underneath this room, and there's some things built in here, so I used it as my office, and I decorated it. I put the furniture in that I liked, pretty much the furniture I could afford and still liked. But I still kind of claim it as mine, even though we do the lives and stuff in here. So I've held out on painting it. Teresa says, I actually despise white and beige paint. Yeah, I'm not a fan. Heather says, I hope the weather is next week. We're leaving for camp on July 3rd through the 10th. Yeah, hopefully the weather gets better. This is too hot. I need to mow, but I am not going out and mowing in this heat. I'm sorry to our neighbors. Um, I know we need to mow, but for one, it is too hot for me. Um, and with my medications and heart stuff, I'm not going out to mow. And with my pale skin, I'm not being in the sun. Um, I do cover, and that's the thing is I have to cover up, so I wear long sleeves and I wear a hat, and that just makes everything hotter. So when it cools down next week, I'll do some mowing. Sue says, I do too, Teresa. Our kitchen is white and gets very sunny in the morning. It actually hurts my eyes. Yeah, I don't like a lot of light. I don't like bright light. Like this light right now, our overhead light, it has to be on because it's much darker in here when it's not. But it's a drop ceiling and it's a fluorescent tube. And it's just like, and we'll when we're in the living room in the evenings watching TV and eating, because we eat on the couch. Sorry for those of you who think that's wrong. Our dining room is used for crafts. Um, but when we're in there eating, Andrew usually has the overhead. We have a fan in there, and it has the lights in the fan, and he usually has that on. And I'm like this like the whole time because it ends up hurting my eyes. But he works in there, so I deal with it. And also, if it's not bright enough in there for him to work, he can't see. And if he's not working, he's trying to stay up to work later. And if it gets too dark, he gets sleepy. Let's see here. I need colors in my house, says Teresa. Even your ceilings have color. That's cool. I had a professor who I was on good terms with in college, and sometimes they would have parties and get-togethers for her Spanish students. And her house was lovely. It was each room was a different bright color, and it was kind of I don't know that it was plaster, I think, but it kind of had that adobe look, where things were like kind of more rounded, and so on the inside, um, it was like one room would be bright orange, and it would move into a room that was like a bright red orange, like a sunset or a sunrise kind of orange. And then I think one room was bright yellow, and I think there was even a like a bright. Well, they would accent then with like bright colors on the inside, like purples and greens, and it was so nice. But it also fit the style of the home. Like I can't kind of imagine if you just had a room that was like, four walls and square and doing that same thing. But they did it really well, and it was really nice, and I loved it. And I wanted to do that ever since, but it's never felt right in this house and in other places I've been. So this is, I guess it's the crowd I travel with, but none of my friends are into status symbols. Who cares? Yeah, I used to be. I used to very much be. But as I said, that was all part of me covering up things that I didn't like about myself. So, um, I went through vitiligo, and I didn't like that. It was very hard for me going from being tan in the summer and never burning. I never burned in the summer, to being completely different, and having patches of pigment for a while until it all went away. Um, so I covered up with status things, and it made me feel better in some ways. But and then trying to deal with being gay at the same time in a small town, and not even a town. I don't know what you would call it, but it was. I went very status oriented, and for a long time that was who I was, and I didn't really get a lot of joy out of it. It wasn't until I started tearing a lot of that away and deciding that things that meant something were more important than things that I assigned meaning to. And I think that's kind of what it's about. Like, things that actually mean something to you are definitely more important than things you assign meaning to. And yeah, but now I'm kind of, I'm still, sometimes I can flip into the other side where I worry. Um, but yeah, I try not to. Susan says, I like dark wood too, and I guess that's not a comparable with the modern farmhouse aesthetic. No, everyone's trying to be light, 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 light. Um, Susan says, what I despise are people who rip historic buildings of any character. Everything's painted white, no warm tones, not for me. Yeah, me either. Me either. Norma says, I just cringe when people go into craftsman style houses with gorgeous wood trim, built ins, and paint it white. I know, painting over the wood. Uh, and I know sometimes it looks nice in the end, depending on who's doing it and what. But a little part of me like dies because a little part of that little house died. Um, Susan says, Norma, we think alike. Kimberly says, I'm with you, Norma. Norma says, Susan, you and I are just the same wavelength. Angela says, home maintenance helps me busy too, or keeps me busy too. Yeah, yes, yes. Maintenance is not fun, but it's necessary, right? You don't want your house falling down around you, is to the point that you can, right? Not everyone can do it. Not everyone has a lot of money to do it, so they do their best. And I used to be harsher, and reality is reality. Not everyone has the means to do everything they'd like to do. And I think when we're looking at people and judging people, we have to realize that a lot of people um, would do a lot more with certain things if they could. It's what they're able to do, and we just have to accept people and what they can do. Hello, Anne. Thank you so much for joining us today. Anna is here. Hello, Anna. Thank you for hanging out. My master bath, I painted it dark pink and mint green, says Teresa. Nice. I like those colors. I like those together. Speaking of pink, has anyone seen Marianne lately? I've not seen Marianne on the lives in a while, and I've not heard from her in a little bit. Has anyone heard from her? I was thinking about that. She popped in my mind yesterday or the day before, and I meant to ask people yesterday on the live, um, and that just jogged my memory again. Um, let's see here. Oh, Anna's moved over to YouTube now. Thank you. So, Teresa's not in a while. Yeah, I'm hoping she's okay. I need to maybe check in with her and see what's happening. Norma says, Teresa, it's very retro. My bathroom still has baby blue tile, and that's fine with me. I love the old bathroom tiles and stuff. Like, I know some of it's coming back, but some of it, like, people just want to rip out when I see these home shows, when we watch those. And for me, I kind of really love that old tile and when the sinks are the same color as the tile, like now try and find like a baby blue sink. Very hard to do. That kind of stuff just isn't in right now, but I love it. I love it. Um, yeah, I think it's super cool. Kimberly says, I don't mind dark, rich cabinets, but I want light walls. We have paneling in our living room. I had to paint it. The room was like a cave. See, I kind of like a cave. I like a cave. That's all right if you don't like a cave. Everyone has their own thing. But I like things cave-like. Kind of do. Andrew and I disagree on that all the time. All the time. But, yeah. I like it darker. You look quite boggy, bougie, sipping the Perrier water with lime. Yeah, it's because this is cold. I've had my, I forgot my juice water. Um, it's a little bit better than drinking out of the ocean spray bottle. It makes us look a little bit more civilized. But also, this is cold. I've had my juice water with me all day, and it's been sitting on my desk. And I barely drank any. I was very bad drinking water today, so I'm trying to catch up a little bit with some cold water because it is still I'm like why is this deciding? Maybe it's freezing up because the air conditioner is not pumping out much cool air. Kimberly says, I like a cave in my bedroom, but not in the rest of the house. I get it. Teresa says, the sink was pink and I love the color. Nice. Susan says, I love old tiles. Me too. Me too. All right, y'all. Let's flip this around and see if y'all want any vintage stuff. We're going to do LGV lots today. Let's get vintage. LGV. Let's get vintage. And we are going to show you some glass, some plastic, some metal. I think I've got some metal beads. Like I said, some of this stuff we've only ever shown once before. So if you missed it or you didn't get it then, it might be new to you, or it might be something you want to grab now. So let's flip this around and we'll take a look. I'm actually getting a little bit hungry. That's why I'm starting the show a little bit early. Normally we would chat for another 20 minutes or so, but I'm actually getting kind of really hungry suddenly. I had some fruit earlier, and I had a salad that I was going to, those bag salads. I buy the bag salads from the grocery store. They're pretty good. I get the Asian style one with the sesame dressing, and I love it. But I didn't eat it, and I should have eaten it earlier today. But so far, I've just had like a banana and an apple, I think, today, and lots of blueberries. Susan says, I'm a cave dweller except for the crafty room. Okay, what do we got? And I have my spreadsheets here because I want to check quantities in some of these things. It's easier doing it there than anywhere else. Okay. Nancy just had a big bowl of watermelon. Nice. I bought a quarter of a watermelon yesterday. No, yesterday, I think. Yeah. The grocery store cuts them into quarters and wraps them up, and that way you don't have to buy a whole watermelon, because that intimidates me to have a whole watermelon in my house, in my fridge. So I bought a quarter of one, and then last night I cut it into a quarter. No, I cut it in half, and I ate that. I left half of it for Andrew, but he's not really a big watermelon eater, so I might end up eating that tonight for a snack too. I like watermelon a lot. Kimberly says, I like the sunflower crunch salad mix. I don't think I've had that one. Does it come with bacon? Some of those come with bacon, and we don't get them because of that. All right. If you'd like to purchase from this video, let me put the streamer up. If you'd like to purchase from this video, take down the lot number. They're LGV lots. Send that to us in the subject line of an email. So put LGV1, for example, in the subject line of an email. Send that to info@allegorygallery.com. Please send a new email each time. Do not reply to an old email of yours or a sent email to send a new one. Just start a fresh one every time. And if you do send us an email, please be aware that if you do get it, we are expecting you to pay for it in the end. So please don't send anything that you don't actually want. Teresa says, I made watermelon, feta, and mint salad today. Everybody's having the watermelon today. That sounds really good too. Ooh, feta and mint and watermelon. Ooh, that sounds really good. All right, so LGV1 are these, let me see if it says, I think they're Czech. I think these are Czech. These are vintage Czech glass pears, yellow pears. They're drilled top to bottom this way. And you get 5 of them for $3.15. $3.15. You get 5 little pears. This is about what a half a strand would be, and a half a strand would be about $6 or $7. So we took it that way just to do it like this. That's also how it broke down evenly in the amounts that we have. So $3.15. Kimberly says, I don't remember if it does or not. I don't use the bacon that comes in the kits. I'm not vegetarian, but I am a snob. And it says, LOL, Kimberly, bacon snob. Nice. And says, I had salad today too. Spinach, tofu, fresh mozzarella, and avocado. Ooh. I don't know if I like avocado. I have not tried avocados. We've talked about this, y'all, right? And my thing with avocado. I still haven't actually tried it again, um, so I don't know. But spinach, tofu, and fresh mozzarella all sounds great. Um, Kimberly says, very much a bacon snob. I have to cook it myself. I can't use that bag stuff. Andrew used to cook a really good, I don't know, I can't remember but he made it really crispy and he coated it in like brown sugar and stuff. Like, oh, it was so good. And I do miss it. When we were meat eaters, one time Andrew we had a going away party and it was a pork party. It was pork everything, or it was like all parts of the pig. And that's what the whole party was. Every dish had that in it. We had like prosciutto wrapped asparagus, I think, or maybe prosciutto and dates, maybe both. He made some of that coated bacon that he used to make. He made I think we did a roast. It was just so pulled pork, barbecue pork. It was so good. Um, I do miss that sometimes, but I'm not. I don't like. I'm not gonna get the animals, you know. Let's see here. Anna says I had spinach salad with veggies and chicken. Nice. Everybody's having salads. I might have a salad today too, but I'm also gonna have. I made spaghetti last night. Um, I sautéed some onions and sautéed onions and yellow bell pepper with some cayenne, spice, garlic powder, salt, pepper, a little bit of thyme, and then some aniseed, and then added in some kidney beans and mushrooms. And I feel like there was zucchini. And I sauteed all that up and kind of mixed it together. Then poured in some tomato sauce. I didn't make my own tomato sauce. Poured in some tomato sauce. I also did that in balsamic. I sauteed things in the balsamic vinegar. And then I added the sauce. And then I made some fake chicken. I don't know if you've tried the Gardein brand Gardein Ultimate chicken fillets. They're breaded chicken fillets. They're thick, they're juicy, they're meaty. I put them in the air fryer and they got super crispy. And then I melted some Swiss cheese on top and then poured the sauce over that and some noodles. And I think I did a good job. I think I did a good job. Suzanne had a nectar cream donut. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what a nectar cream donut is. Candied bacon is so yummy, says Kimberly. Yes, it is. It very much is. Teresa says, I don't miss the meat. I have been a vegetarian for 27 years. I miss certain things. Like, I don't necessarily miss it. I do know that things were tasty, though. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, the stuff was tasty. I'm not going to lie about it. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's see here. We do have some cells in LGV1. Thank you so much. LGV2, these are 375, and I have 4 of these available. You know, I used to really like meat. I was a real meat eater. Like, I was not playing around. I liked my meat and potatoes. This is a lotus flower metal pendant. I didn't give you dimensions on these. These little pairs are about 12 millimeters by 16. And this pendant overall is about 32 by 26.2. Lotus flower pendant, LGV2, $3.75 for the pendant. Susan says, same here, Teresa, long-term vegetarian as well. Like, I don't think I realized some of y'all, or as many of y'all, were vegetarians as you are. We've just sold 2 of these LGV2s so far. Thank you so much. And it says, Teresa, same. I've been a vegetarian for 46 years. I never liked meat and was thrilled when I found out I didn't have to eat it. That's funny. I came from a love of meat, especially beef. I love a good steak. That's one of the hardest things, giving up like steak tartare and various, well done steaks. Not well done, but done well. Let's see here. This is $3.15 as well. I only have 1 of these. These are green pears. Set of 5 of them for $3.15 for the green pears. Only 1 set available. And these are the same size. So that's about 12 millimeters by about 16. And they are flat. So thickness-wise, they're about 8 millimeters. And they're drilled top to bottom. Kimberly says, I can take it or leave the beef, pork, and yard birds, but could not give up fish or shellfish. Yeah, fish was a hard one for me too. That was a hard one to give up. I did love fish. LGV3 has sold out. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me see here. These are super cool. I'm going to show you all of them. Let me see here. I can't remember if I'm trying to think if these were one moment. Yeah, these were each. Sorry, everybody. These are $2.50 each. There are 3 of them available. I'm going to show you all 3 so you can see them. These are horn. They're horn drops, pendants, and they have the bell already in them. They are a carved horn. And there are 3 of them available. All 3 of them are shown. They're $2.50 each. And I think they're super, super cool. Anne says, I hated fish and stopped eating it before meat. It's such a relief not to have to do what you don't want to do, right? I agree. These are approximately, let's see here, about, is that right? Yeah. It's about 35 millimeters by, at the widest, so the way they look, about 9. And again, these are a lovely horn sweet little small horn pendants. $2.50 each, LGV 4. Next up, boy, is this a good price. Holy moly. Okay. Sometimes I can't believe the prices we can offer. These are $3.75. These are Western German glass cabochons. They are painted in the back side. So they're carved and painted in the back to reflect the front. And so they're both, talk about seafood, they're both fish. Say they trout, I don't know. I don't know what kind of fish that is. Bass. Anyway, they're beautifully painted. Vintage Western German cabochons. There are 2 of them available, $3.75 each. I'm gonna put each on here so you know it's not the pair. I'm gonna do the same thing here since I have more than one shown. $3.75 each. We just sold another of the 1s. Thank you so much. We've sold one of the 4s. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it so much. Let me see what am I doing here. Trying to keep the original bags because they're marking for me what where things are from. I wrote on them when I knew what they were from. Okay. Rainbow trout would be my guess. Yeah, I think so, Kimberly. I think you're right. Let's see here. LGV6. This is $4.75 for the pair. I only have 1 pair available. These are Czech. Oops, if I can get the bag open. I hate when plastic bags don't, when the tops are even instead of one's lower than the other, then they're really hard to get into. Anyway, these are Czech glass cabochons. And they're like an opalescent glass over this really pretty, oops, let's get the cat hair out of the way. Really pretty confetti kind of opal coloring. There's only 1 pair available. LGV6, $4.75. And those cabochons are approximately 10 millimeters by 12. 10 by 12 millimeters. Czech glass, vintage Czech cabochons. LGV6. Cat hair is magical, says Suzanne, right? It is. It very much is. Oh, I love these. I can't believe I still have a number of these. How much are those? $2 a pair. I have 4 pairs available. Let me just put 2 out. These are these very sweet little, I'm going to say peaches. Not entirely sure. Peaches. These are cabochons. I think that's why that we still have them. If they were, that cat hair keeps coming back. If they were drilled, I think that would be a different story. but they are cabs, but you could glue them on. They have a flat back, and they're a vintage plastic. Let me see if I was able to tell where they're from. I don't know on these ones. I don't know which country they're from, unfortunately. But super cool. Flat backed. So you could glue them onto things. You could put a glue-on bail on there. Sorry, everybody. Glue-on bail if you want to, but they're only $2 a pair. Vintage plastic. 4 pairs available. All right. We've got 22 of these available. Only $1.50 each. These little hand charms. 22 of them available. Sorry, everybody. My allergies seem to... Something always happens when we get on camera. And I also have not talked most of today because I've been by myself. These are super cool. They're a vintage metal charm, brass stampings. These are actually from the United States. And they are about 11 millimeters by 30. About 11 by 30. And they're one of the ones where they fold over. So they were stamped out, folded over. And they're a brass stamping from the United States, vintage United States brass stamping. And we have 22 of those available. All right, let me put some of this away because I'm starting to run out of room. So let's put LGV1 away. And LGV2, let's put that away. LGV3, what is 3? Are those? Those have sold out. Thank you so much. I've just sold a few of the 8s. Thank you so much. We still have some of those available if anybody wants any. Does anyone know, is that like a, what is that? That's like a rock star thing? Is that what that is? Is that what that is? What is that? Rocking out? I think we talked about this last time. I don't think it was some kind of sign language thing. Okay. 5, again, are these rainbow trout. We'll call them rainbow trout, Western German cabochons. And we have these beautiful little check glass, opalescent glass cabochons. And we have those peaches cabochons. And then hook'em horns. Hook'em horns. What's a hook'em horn? That? That's what that is? Okay. What else do I have in my bag of goodies? How about some monkey beads? Monkey beads? Let me see here. There are 4 of these available. LGV9. You get the whole set of these. How much is that? $6. And there are 4 of these available. This is like a whole strand. These are vintage check glass monkeys. Hole goes top to bottom that way. And they are kind of a caramel color with a gold accent. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them for $6. Vintage strand of check glass monkey beads. Super fun. Who doesn't love a monkey? I love a monkey. All right. And these monkeys are about 10.5 millimeters by 14 millimeters. Monkey beads. LGV10. Here we have vintage plastic lime charms. These are $1.50 a pair. And let me see here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pairs available. 12 pairs available. Vintage plastic lime charms. You get them by the pair, $1.50 for a pair. Make some lime earrings. Got some pears earlier in the check glass. You mix pears with some limes. Whoa! Come back here. Runaway lime. LGV10, $1.50 a pair. 12 pairs available. I think those are fun, fun, fun. What are these? Sometimes I forget what we have. Like, what are these? LGV11. We just sold, what was 3? 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. 3 was already sold from before. We only had 1 of that one. Somebody just tried to order 3 again. Sorry, it was sold out. These are intaglios, vintage glass intaglios, $4.75 each, and I have 5 of these of the Pegasus. They are a Pegasus intaglio. And flat backed, so you can use them as a cabochon or attach a bail, glue on bail if you want, wire wrap them, seed bead around them. But it's a Pegasus intaglio. And they are about 19.5 millimeters. And thickness wise, they're about 3.5. Excuse me. LGV11. Whoa, get back here. Okay, this is $5.50, and there are 3 of these available. These are I believe my battery's dead. But I marked these that they glow. So I can't show you under a black light because my black light is dead. But these are these little fish. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You get 10 of these little fish beads. They are drilled through the head, top to bottom like this, or side to side like that, as little drops. And they're slightly pink and slightly clear. Vintage Czech fish beads. Could be Western German. I'm not 100% sure on these ones, but I wrote on them that they glow. LGV 12, $5.50 for a lot of 10, and there are 3 lots available. LGV 13. How y'all doing out there? Doing okay? These are from India, vintage from India. These are $1.50 a pair. And let me see how many of these I have. Ten pair available. LGV 13 are these beautiful Indian with the foil glass in there, gold glass, and they've already got bells set in them. You get a pair of those for $1.50. $1.50 a pair. LGV 13. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining in today. Vintage Indian. Vintage Indian. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Let me put some of these away. Put back. We sold two lots of the fish so far, so we have 1 lot available. Thank you so much. 1 lot of those left. If you're on the fence about those fish, get them now before they sell out. We've just sold a pair of the hearts. Thank you so much. It means there's 9 of those still available. Oh, how are y'all doing? Sorry, it's always slower, I feel like, when I do things by myself. I have a hard time talking and walking at the same time, you know? So when I'm putting things away, sometimes my talking slows down. But I'm gonna move the bottom row up. So we're gonna put these away. They're still available for anybody who hasn't grabbed them yet, if you catch a replay of this. But I've got to make room. Where's my monkeys? There's my monkeys. Nobody wants a monkey bead. Surprised. Why does nobody want a monkey? I love them. I think they're so cute. So cute, those monkeys. They got little back sides and front sides. Pretty dang cute. I guess monkeys aren't for everybody. I think they're cute though. Michelle says we ordered pizza, waiting for it. Nice. Love a good pizza. Okay. So far, nobody wants any of the limes. Do we not sell any of the limes? What? Everybody always asks us for fruit. And when we have fruit, nobody wants the limes. Vintage plastic lime beads. Those are pretty cool. All right. Y'all like what you like, I know. Okay. We sold one of the monkeys. Thank you so much. I knew somebody had to want a monkey. Somebody has to want a monkey. Let's see. How many of these? Okay, there are 4 of these available, I think. Oh, we just sold a lime bead. Limes, too. Thank you so much. Oh, we sold multiple limes. Thank you. What I gotta do? Show everything twice. And then, in case you miss it the first time, right? These are going to be $6, and I have 4 lots of these available. Kimberly says, my daughter was born in the year of the monkey. Well, you should need some monkeys then, right? Just sold another one of the lime pairs. Thank you so much. You need the monkeys then. These are opalescent pink. Some are opalescent. Some, I try and do a mix when I sort these out. So some of them are a little bit less. They're more opaque. But then look at these ones glowing down here. These beautiful vintage pink beads. Like, look at that. You get 5 of them for $6. Norma says, I missed the limes. I was wondering, Norma, because you usually like the fruit stuff. I was wondering what happened. So these are vintage glass. I think these are vintage German. I'm not 100% sure. They could be Czech, could be German. 15.3 by 17.4 millimeters. Thickness wise, they go about 11. And you get 5 of them for $6. Really pretty beads for those of you who like the vintage glass. Who doesn't like the vintage glass? Kind of like, but the nondescript vintage glass, right? They're just kind of like, they're an interesting shape too. They're like a little pillow. They've got some roundedness on one side, then they've got like kind of a flat cutout on the other. Kimberly says big pillow beads, right? They are. They're really pretty, and I love how they glow. They're just glowing down there. LGV 15 coming up. Let me see what else I've got in my bag of goodies. Y'all have any requests? Any requests, everybody? These were popular before. I've only got 2 of these left. Kind of want to keep one, but we'll see what happens tonight. $3.25 each. 2 of them available. Are these rabbits? $3.25 each only. Are these rabbits? The hook is there. And these are pretty large. 26.2 by about 40, whoops, by about 44. It's about 26 by 44. 2 of those available, LGV 15, $3.25. I don't think you're going to find a better deal on something like that anywhere else. We've just sold one of the 15s already. Thank you so much. And let's see here. LGB. Boy, I wrote 16 out before. I didn't even realize I did that. Okay. What? We still have these? This is $8 for the lot. LGV 16. And these are kitty cat beads. Vintage check with an AB finish. Vintage check sitting cats. You can see there's the back and the front. The front's got an AB finish on it. They are drilled top to bottom this way. Kitty cat beads. And they are approximately 8.7 millimeters by 14.5. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them for $8. Only one lot available. LGV 16. $16 has just sold. Thank you so much. All right, these are $3.25 each. There are 2 of them available. Sorry, somebody tried to grab 16 again. We've only got the 1. These are strawberry quartz, and I think this is not, this is made strawberry quartz. I don't think this is natural, although I don't know for sure. It is vintage. Strawberry quartz elephant beads. You get 1 of them. They're $3.25 per each, and there are these 2 available, and they are drilled down the center in the back, and they are super cute little elephant, hand-carved elephant beads. The little trunks up for good luck, right? $3.25 each. LGV 17. Just 2 of those available. All right, let's move some stuff out of the way again. So if you missed out, we just sold both of 17. Thank you so much. If you missed out on 10, LGV 10, these are these little lime beads, or lime pendants or charms. You get 2 of them for $1.50. So good deal. 75 cents each? Yeah, 75 cents each. 2 of them for $1.50. LGV 11, if you missed that. This is the Pegasus intaglio bead. They are in glass. They're about 20 millimeters, 19.5, 20 millimeters. And they are flat-backed Pegasus intaglios, $4.75 each. 5 of those available. All right, and LGV 12 are the fish. Do we sell all of them or not? Let me see here. No, we still have 1 set of fish available, and these should glow under a black light is what I had written on them. Glow. They're cute fish, pink and clear, and you get them for $5.50. 1 lot available still. And then the 13 are the pair of Indian glass hearts, vintage. already have a bell set on them, ready for you to use. It's that Indian foil glass. And those are $1.50 for the pair. We still have, I think, 9 pairs of those available. Okay, let's move this up. LGV 14 are these beautiful pink beads. We have sold 2 of those. We still have 2 sets available. Thank you so much for those of you who grabbed those. LGV 15, we've sold 1 of these little rabbits. There's 1 left for $3.25. LGV 16 I'm going to remove because it has sold. Let's see here. Let me move that out so it doesn't confuse y'all. That one is gone. Thank you, thank you. Wish I had more of those because we sold multiples of those. And LGV 17, both of those elefantes are gone as well. Thank you so much for that. Trying to give you the good prices. You know, give you the good prices. Okay, so we're on LGV 18. What is this little guy? Okay. $8.25. Is this stone Buddha head? It's cut out in the back. They say stone. I think this is glass. I think it's glass. Super cool. Vintage. Don't know. Vintage. Not sure if it's vintage Czech, vintage German. 14.5 by 17 millimeters. 1 of them available. $8.75 only. $8.75. Let me give you a better look at that. LGV 18. $8.25 only. 1 of those available. Here's another vintage item from India. Let me see. I think we did these as the whole set. Yeah. $4 for the whole set. This is vintage Indian glass flower beads, drilled lengthwise that way. You get 5 of them. They are approximately 16.5 millimeters by 19. And you get all 5 for $4. Vintage Indian glass. 1 lot available. Just the 1. Oops. I'm on 20. LGV 20. We just sold 19. Thank you so much. That one is now sold out. Okay. I have 4 of these available. These are only $3.25 a pair. Crazy talk. $3.25 a pair. Let me see if I know where they're from. Does not say. They're antique brass. Hanging cats. Super cute. Those little cats are hanging on with their long, long tails. They are vintage brass. And they're $3.25 a pair only. Size-wise, they are about 12.5 millimeters by 36. And that's LGV 20. Oh boy, everyone wants 19. I'm sorry, only one person can get it. Sorry about that. We sold the last of the 15s. Thank you so much. And does anyone remember that poster from the 70s? Hang in there, baby. I think that is the cat. Could be, right? Somebody did the cat in a charm. Super cute. LGV 20s. Only 4 pairs available. You get them by the pair. What else do I have in here in my little bag of goodies? Let's see here. Check on this just to make sure. Yep. LGV21. This one is $2.50. Shell says, looks like the pose the cat did. Or Norma says, and I was thinking the same thing. This is LGV21. Somebody tried to grab 19 again. Sorry, 19 is sold out. I just haven't cleared it from the board yet. This is Cherry brand Japanese glass. It is not a bead, but it does have a what do you call that on the back? You could put a button in there or a loop in there, glue it down in if you wanted to. This was called Opal Swirl. Opal Swirl. And this is vintage Japanese half drilled. Thank you, Anne. That's the word. And these are beautiful. There's only one. I've only got one left. Look at it glow. Opal Swirl. Opalescent glass from Japan. Cherry brand. $2.50 for that. Let's see what's next here. I have 4 of these. They are $4.25 each. Let me move 20 up here. We've still got some room. Let me take away, because it's confusing everyone. This one is sold out. Many, 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 many times over. If only I had more of that one for y'all. And then this one has sold out as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we still have 1 of 14, I believe, left. I Actually, 2 of 14, I think, are left. We still have the 18. That's the little mask bead. And then we have 21. Nope, 20. There's these little pairs of cats. 21. And then LGV 22. These are vintage plastic bird jade looking pendant or cabochon. It's made to look like jade. And this is pretty big. This is about 37.2 by 45.3. And they're only $4.25 each. Super cool. I love it. And because it looks substantial, but it's super, super light. So great for your jewelry design work. LGV 22. Lots of holes to hang things from or wire wrap it in. You could wire wrap some flowers in there if you wanted to. Lots of things you could do with that one. Kimberly says, oh wow, that is so pretty. Isn't it? So pretty. Don't turn your nose up at the vintage plastic, right? Super cool vintage plastic. We've sold 1 of these so far. We have 3 of them still available. Let's see here. Okay. We have 9 of these available. $1.50 a pair. We had the limes, and now I'm going to show you the lemons. Lemon charms. Who doesn't want a lemon charm? These ones are transparent. The limes were opaque. But LGV 23, vintage plastic, lemon charms, $1.50 for a pair, 9 pairs available. LGV 23. Let's see what else I have in my bag of goodies. Who likes buttons? I like buttons. You like buttons? Who doesn't like a button? These are check glass, vintage check star buttons. Really good shape for the age of these. Really good quality. They are $5 each, and I have 5 of them available. Anne says, I like buttons. Look at these. Great quality on those with the gold inside. Vintage check glass button. Kind of a really, like, I don't feel like you see them domed like this so much. Like, that's very domed for most check glass buttons. Glass completely all the way through, no metal on the back, all glass, all formed, check glass, LGV 24, $5 each, 5 of them available. We've just sold 2 of these so far. Thank you so much. That was quick. Somebody likes them. Kimberly says, that's circusy. I love it. I know, right? Circus and stars. Okay, I'm going to move this up here since we can see up here further. Can't see over here as well. Nobody wants lemons. Oh, we did sell some lemons. I missed that. Wow, okay, 1, 2, 3. Sold 3 of the lemons. Thank you so much. Just sold another one of the 24s and another one of the 24s, and we are sold out of the 24s. Thank you so much. Those are all gone now. Let's see. These are fun, fun, fun. These are vintage Japanese sequin balls. What did we have on those? They're $2 a pair. $2 a pair. Vintage Japanese sequin balls. So they're vintage sequins that have been turned into these balls, wrapped around, and then there's a bail in there. They're super duper light, incredibly light. LGV 25, $2 a pair, super fun. I think y'all could have a good time playing around with those. Let me, I'm gonna remove this because this is sold out. So I know it's confusing people if I leave stuff up. So let me try and pull stuff away that's sold as they sell. LGV26. Let's see what we have next. One moment, everybody. Where am I here? What am I doing? Losing track of things. One moment. Let me check on something. I want to make sure. Okay. Norma says, gives me ideas for the sequins and some of the bead blends, right? We've sold so far 2 of the 25s. Thank you so much. Okay. We have these at $1 each. And these are large vintage plastic egg-shaped beads. Hole goes this way. They're $1 each only. I have multiples available. They are about 25 by 32 and a half. 25 by 32 and a half. $1 each. LGV 26. Okay, these, let me pick something else. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if those are wood or coconut. I'm going to pick something else real quick. LGV27, $4. $4 for the lot of these beautiful AB coated vintage plastic beads. So these are a cool shape, and they have an AB coating. They're $4 per lot, and you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them in a lot. LGV 27. Okay, is everybody done looking at LGV 14? Did you miss this out? Miss those? There's still, I think, 2 of those available. 5 beads, $6. The vintage pink glass goes away. Let's see, what was 13? That's 14. And then I'm going to put away, let's see here, where is my bag? There it is, the little mask bead. $8.25, still available. One of those. And then the cats, the hanging cats, $3.25 a pair. Those are still available, 4 of them. I'm sorry, 3 of those available, I think. 3 of those, we sold 1 pair, thank you. Which surprises me, the Japanese cherry brand pearlescent bead, well, not bead, half drilled little nugget is still available. 1 of those, $2.50. That'd make a great button for a toggle closure, I think. And then 22, we still have, I think, 3 of these available. Yes, 3 of those available. $4.25 each. Come on, get in the bag. Get in the bag. Okay, let's move these up. These are our lemons, 23. You missed those. Super cool lemon charms, vintage plastic. We have the vintage Japanese sequin balls. These come from Japan. They're Japanese sequins, but also these beads themselves were made in Japan as well. LGV 25. Sold a few of those. Thank you. LGV 26. Is this LGV? Yeah. LVG? LGV. LGV. 26. Is this large pink bead? You get 1 of them for $1 each. And then this whole lot of these vintage plastic beads in this teal color with the AB finish. We got those, $4 for the whole lot. Normally, we're getting a little bit extra because normally we would charge about $4 for like that size. So you're getting a few extra for that we're throwing in. LGV 28. Let's see what else I've got in here. $5. And let me see here how many of these we've got left. So we've got 8 of these left. These are vintage S-word. Vintage S-word. And they're 2-holed with a channel down the middle. These have a name, and I'm going to forget the name. Somebody remember the name? But these are vintage S-word, just to show you. That's the old packet of them. Vintage S-word. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 of them in this amethyst color for $5 only. These are super popular with us. 10 millimeters by 15 millimeters. Vintage S-word. We also have them. Are they sew on beads? That's it, Anne. Yes, sew on beads. Thank you. LGV 29. $5 again. And let me check out. We have 8 of these left as well. 8 of these left. Vintage S-word in the Siam. And it says, I bought those beads in purple and red. I'm using them as connectors. Yep. There's the red. That's S-word Siam. And so those are the 2 colors we've got. They go great if you do want to use them as a connector. You could make a cool little bracelet connecting them together if you want to. Only $5 for 12 of the beads. LGV 28, LGV 29. LGV 30. And so I forgot they were S-word. Yep, S-word. There's the, there they are. Amethyst and Siam. How about that? How about that? Let's see here. These are really cool. These are black. For those of you who like the black beads, white and black beads, these are $4 per lot. I do have multiple lots of these available. I put MLA for multiple lots available when I'm not sure how many I have. I haven't counted them all out. But they're $4. And these are these little dimply, they have dimples in the side. There's the actual hole. They have dimples around them. And then they have this kind of, I don't know, they look like moon craters to me. It looks like a moon crater. And you get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, I think 25 of them for $4. And they are about 8 millimeter beads. 8 millimeter beads. That's a nice long strand for $4. Those are vintage check. Vintage check. We sold one of the 29s. Thank you so much. One of the Siam sew-on beads. Let's see here. vintage check glass again coming up. LGV31, $4.50. I've got 12 lots of these available. We've sold one of the LGV30s so far. Thank you so much. This is LGV31. These are table cut rounds with a Picasso finish, check glass in this root beer color. You look at them glowing. They're really, really pretty. This kind of deep amber kind of color with a Picasso edge. And a table cut on, I think, 3 sides. Yeah, 3 sides to make it into that shape. And these are approximately about 8mm beads, $4.50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, about 24 of them you get. 24 of them per lot. That's the word. Per lot. Oh no, I think that one's there. 25. I think it's 25 again. I think I just lost that one. 24, 25. I'll count them up later. LGV32. These are super fun. I love these so much. These bright colored vintage plastic beads. You get 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of them for $4. And this is what they look like. So they're like, half of them are more one color, half of them are another color. And this is a mix. You'll get an assortment. I'll just pick an assortment of these yellows, pinks, and oranges. So you'll get an assortment of those. 14 different beads for $4. And they are approximately 10 millimeters by 12. 10 by 12 millimeters. All right, let me clear some stuff. So the lemons are going away. LGV23. These are the lemon charms. $1.50 a pair only. These are vintage plastic lemon charms. And we're going to put away these vintage Japanese sequin balls. I didn't give you a size on these, I don't think. These are approximately about 16 millimeters by about 18 millimeters. Vintage Japanese sequin balls, $2 a pair. We've sold another of the 28s, thank you so much. We've sold one of the 30s, thank you so much. We've sold a 32, thank you so much. The giant pinky beads, they're available still, but I'm putting those away for $1 each. What do I have next? Those blue beads. 12 of those. Those in here. Let's get a little bag of those. And I'm going to leave these up for a little bit because some people are still claiming some of these sew-on beads. 28. $29. It's over here. I love these black little crater beads. Oh, Sandra joined us. How you feeling today, Sandra? How was your doctor appointment? If you want to talk about it. Might not. That's okay too. These little crater beads. I love those. Okay. LGV33. Are these? These are $4 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads. $4 for 7 beads. They're these kind of shampoo-y, kind of ambery goodness beads. They're drilled lengthwise. They are vintage plastic. You get 7 of them for $4, and they are approximately 17 millimeters by 34 by 8. Super light, super cool. Love the look on those. LGV 33. If you like big beads and you like yellow beads, check these out. 6 large drops. And this is LGV 34. $4 for these. I'm sorry, 7. You do get 7. 7 large drops. And these are approximately 16.5 by 32 millimeters. Sandra says, I didn't see my doctor. I went to PT and she said it was referred pain. She found the muscle that runs from the back and released. She said somehow I strained it. That's what I was wondering. I'm glad that that's all that it was. I mean, I know that hurts, but I'm very glad that that's all that the issue was, because that can be worked on, right? That can be helped. LGV 35. These are $6. And let me see here. I've got 6 of these, it looks like, available. Exactly, it was painful when she did it, but it did feel better afterwards. Good. These are super cool. These are kind of, they're an opalescent glass with these gold inlays. And you get 2, 4, 6, boy, this is going to be hard for me to count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 25 of those. 25 of those for $6 only. 25 of them for $6. LGV 35. Beautiful opalescent glass. Beads, and those beads are vintage check again, 6.7 millimeters by 9. 6.7 by 9. Called white opal gold beads. LGV 35. Boy, look, these are so pretty. Like, I don't know if you can, it's just so pretty together. All this glass, nice large lots of glass, not these little, these are generally much larger than a strand is going to be for that price. If we strand them up, which is our next thing, like I'm running these through one more time here for y'all to see, and then we'll be starting probably to strand these up and put them in the online store, and the price will go up. Because we have to do the work, and the strands are pretty big. Unless we keep them the same price and the strand size gets smaller. That happens too sometimes. LGV 36. And I'm going to start putting some away because, well, I'm running out of room. So the S-word crystal sew-on beads. S-word sew-on beads. That's going away. We still have a few of those left. $5 for the whole lot. The S-word crystal sew-on beads in Siam. Where did you go? There it is. In the Siam, in the red. S-word crystal, $5 for the lot. We've sold some of 33 and 34. And let's see, a 35. Thank you so much. We still have some available of all of them, though. So if you're still interested, don't hesitate. These little black craters, I love these. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 16. There's 25 of those. And I wanted to count them because I want to write 25 on the bag so that helps me sort them out later for anybody who grabs those. And then these little, I can't believe, did anybody get these brown ones? No. These? You don't like these? All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 25 of those as well. And those are only $4.50 for those. That's 31. And I'm going to leave 32 up here because I think they're fun. And I don't know if everybody's seen those, noticed those yet. I think those are super fun. And then 33 are these big ones here. Am I off the screen? Can you see? Okay. Let's do 35 over here. These opalescent. 34 are those big beads there. 35 are these vintage check glass opalescent beads there. Okay. Some of my favorites. Green. These are $4 for the strand, well, for the lot. These beautiful twisted gold and green beauties. $4 for 4 of them. They're $1 each. Gorgeous beads. And this is so colorful, right? They are. Everything's so colorful here. 14.5 millimeters by 35.5 millimeters. LGV 36. Multiple lots available so far on those. We'll be stranding those up because I did these. This is a strand. And we sell our vintage plastic usually by $4 a strand, which is pretty cheap. And so that'll be a strand of that And that'll be about probably the price it stays. These might go up to $5. Some of our vintage plastic is $5 a strand. So it's LGV 36, LGV 37. Let's see what I have in here now. How about those? Those are kind of circusy too, right? A little bit, maybe. Beachy, circusy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 of those for $4. These are about 10 millimeters by about 12, 10.5 by 12. Vintage plastic. Super cute. LGV 37. LGV 38. $4 for these. Whoa. These have a kind of magenta core with the gold instead of the green. But if you like collecting them all, I've got about 3 different colors of these coming up. And that's LGV 38. And LGV 39. It's this one with the deep purple core. Purple with that bronzy gold on top. $4 for those. So these are the 3 colors that these come in. Really pretty. Super light. I think they would make super fun earrings. And at only $1 a bead, so $2 for a pair of earrings. I think that's super fun. What else do I have going on here? Okay. LGV 40. $3 a pair. And I think, let me see here. No. Oh, there's only one left. Never mind. Can't do that. Let's scratch that one. Let's scratch that one. Let's try something else. Oh, I know why. Those are for Andrew. I was like, why is my count off on that? Because Andrew wanted them. This is... Okay, 7 of these available. $4 each. 7 of them available. Sorry, everybody. I have to make a switch here. Moving back into some metal. These are brass stampings, USA brass stampings. This is this Art Deco woman's face stamping. And they're $4 each. There are 7 of them available. And then, let's see, here's those. These are if I could spell, LGV41. These are $4 each. And it says 40 looks like something that would be on the front of a ship back in the day, right? I think they're super cool. Like, so fun, so intricate. It really stands out. I don't think I give you a size on these. These are about 24 millimeters by 42. If you like buttons, these are a vintage button, sort of a cameo button. They are $4 each. And those are glass buttons. I'm not sure where they're from. I just dropped one. I will find it later. The beautiful kind of cameo buttons. They're in this kind of satiny pearl finish. $4 each. And for the one I dropped. There it is. All right. Oh, you can't see that anyway. Let me put some of these away because I'm running out of room. All right. So there's 14 of these in the bag. Let me write that down. Just sold a few of the 40s. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. And let's do some of these. Last look at those. Those little shampoo-y goodness, ambery beads. 7 of them for $4. And then I need a bigger bag for these ones, because there were 7 of these big ones for $4 as well. That's a lot of those for $4. It's a big bag. That's a bag of beads for $4. And then all these beautiful little opalescent glass beads for $6. I'm going to count these out real quick. So there's 25 of those for $6. And then these big plastic beads, vintage plastic, 4 of them for $4 in the green. And then I'm going to move these up. 37, 38. These are the kind of magenta ones. Every time I say magenta, I think of Blanche on the Golden Girls, how she felt magenta. Anybody remember that one? I didn't give you the size of this button, by the way. 12 millimeters by 16.5 by 8.2. Beautiful glass buttons. LGV42. I think we'll go to 50 tonight. Just round it out at 50 because I've got a lot of stuff. Let me see how many of these I have. Okay. These are $3.50 a pair. I have 4 pairs available. These are these wishbones with the 4-leaf clovers inside. You get a pair of these vintage pendants for $3.50. LGV42. And these are approximately 14.2 by 26.2 millimeters. $3.50 a pair, 4 pair available. Okay. These are vintage brass charms from the US. These are done in a pair. These are the Hear No Evil monkeys. Hear No Evil monkeys. And let me see how many of those I have. 8 of these available. LGV43. They are, I want to say, $5 a pair. $5 a pair. Hear No Evil brass stamped monkeys. They are 2-sided. Hear No Evil monkeys. And of course we can't just stop with the Hear No Evil, right? So we have the See No Evil as well. See No Evil monkeys. Let's see, I have 8 of these as well. LGV44, $5 a pair, 8 pairs available. See No Evil. So, Hear No Evil, See No Evil. And, of course, Speak No Evil. Let's see those. There we go. Speak No Evil. And those are also $5 a pair. LGV 45, $5 a pair. And let me see how many of these ones I have. I have 8 of those as well. So the Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil monkeys, vintage brass pressings, charms or pendants from the US. 8 of each pairs available, $5 a pair. Get the whole set for $15, 1 of each. All right. LGV 46. I remember there was, I forget what show it was. There was this spooky show on when I was young, and something shop or something, and there was an episode about the Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil monkeys, and I've always liked them since then. What do y'all think of those? You like those? Don't like those? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these available. These are vintage brass pressings again. These are $3.50 each, and I've got 5 of them available. These are the pressed bats. Vintage brass pressings from the US. Providence, most likely, where all the jewelry used to be made, right? All the casting and pressing was done. United States vintage brass charms. LGV 46, $3.50 each. Bats. Okay, let me put some of these away. 37 are these. And you get 14 of those, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 14 of those for $4. Suzanne says, I didn't know that. The casting and stuff was done up there? Yeah. Is that what you mean? Yeah, it was the capital of casting, and kind of the jewelry capital of the U.S. is up there. There's still some things that are done up there. We were looking up there for a caster for our A.G. Fine Peter line. $4 for those. Yeah, so a lot of times the brass stampings you see like this came from there. That's where a lot of our stuff that we get, the vintage stuff, comes from. We've sold 2 of the bats so far. Thank you so much. We've still got 3 of the bats available. Yeah, unfortunately, the pandemic hurt the casting companies a lot. A lot of them were still going up there pretty strongly until then, and I don't know if things have picked back up or if a lot of places have closed. We need to really look into it a little bit more, but yeah. So this is 40. If anybody's interested in those, last chance, well, not last chance, but last chance to see them for now. They're only $4 each. Yeah, it used to be a big casting area up there. That's Andrews. Let's see, I did have, where did I put that bag of those? There they are. Just sold another one of the 46s. Thank you so much. That's the bat. These are these glass buttons. I'm going to put those away for now. That's LGV 41, only $4 each for those glass buttons, vintage glass buttons. And then 42 are these wishbones with the 4-leaf clovers. 43 are the Hear No Evil Monkey charms. And they are vintage brass pressed and folded. They're a pressed and folded charm. And then these are the See No Evil Monkey charms. $5 a pair on those. And the Speak No Evil Monkey charms, LGV 45. And then 46 is the bat. We have 2 bats left. On last I counted, yeah, 2 bats left. Those are pretty detailed too. Look at that. They got a, and it's got, that bat has a happy face. Look at that. It looks like it's smiling. It's a happy bat. I love bats. Okay. But enough about me. Let's see here. What do you all want? Happy bats, says Sandra, right? Happy bats. Let's see. Let me see these and make sure my count's right. Some of these Andrew asked for. I didn't take them out. Okay. This is $4.75, and there are 4 of these available. These are these mermaid stampings. Mermaid stampings. And these are a vintage brass stamping as well. $4.75. Suzanne says, this is a great show, all the nostalgic feelings, right? I love this stuff. I really, really do. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. LGV 47, $4.75 each only. Vintage mermaid brass stamping. And as Andrew would say, she's nakedy-doodah. Right? She's got her crown on, though. She's got her crown on. 48. What's this? What is this? Uh, 52. $5 each. $5 each. 7 of these available. These large four-leaf clover die-struck charms. Now this is, let's go about this way. So that's about 32.5 or so by about 37 millimeters at the longest. Die struck. I believe brass clover charm. $5 each. 7 of them available. LGV 49. These are $2 a pair, and there are 12 pairs available. Suzanne's asking, what is die struck as opposed to die cast? I'm not 100% sure, but I think I think when they're cast, and we can ask Andrew too, but I believe they are pressed, when they consider it die cast, they're pressed like this. When they're die struck, it's kind of like just a cutout, like it's sliced out of a piece. So the die comes down and strikes the metal and chops them out. I believe. I could be wrong, but I believe that's the difference. Kimberly says, my birthday is coming up and my daughter just called and told me she got me a new Keurig Duo for my birthday. Nice. That's awesome. I guess the other one didn't get up and running again, huh? That sucks, but it's nice you're getting a new one. Let's see here. Next up, we have these. These are crown charms. Brass pressed crown charms from the US. And you get 2 of them for $2. So $2 a pair. They're about 11 millimeters by 14.5 or 15. LGV 50, last lot of this evening. What do you want? You want to end it in metal? You want to end it in glass? You want to end it in plastic? What are y'all thinking? Anybody have any requests? Says no, it did not. I have to put a weight on it to keep the K-cup piece close to brew. And that started about a year after I got it and refused to spend the $200 on a new one, right? Suzanne's asking for metal. All right. Let me dig in here and see what we've got. What kind of metal? What kind of metal? How about... These are kind of cool. Or do I want to do these? Well, we can do more tomorrow. So let's do these. If y'all like this, maybe we'll continue more of these tomorrow. These are $4 a pair. Let me check and see how many I've got here. Got 5 pairs available. LGV 50. And these are considered Egyptian Art Nouveau brass stampings. Egyptian Art Nouveau brass stampings. And you get a pair of them for $4. So we get them up there so you can see. And that's LGV 50, and they are at the widest 17.3 and tall 35.5 millimeters. And that, my friends, is the show for tonight. If you like the vintage stuff, maybe we'll keep going tomorrow. I've got lots of stuff, and some of you have seen some of this probably, and some of you may have missed it, some of you may have seen it. Oh, those are pretty. I should have shown some of those too. We'll see. We've sold one of the 50 so far. Thank you so much. Another one of the 50 so far. Thank you so much. We're down to 3 of those only left. Yeah, so thank you all so much for tuning in. I am going to check and see where Andrew's at, if he's along his way home anywhere or not yet. and figure out what we're going to have to eat. I'm going to have some leftovers, so I'm going to make myself some leftovers. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see here. Kimberly says, everything is so pretty. I'm trying to be good. Got to buy my son some baseball gear. I get it. I get it. My cousins were always doing fundraisers and stuff. They do the pizza fundraisers and the sub fundraisers. They've always got, not my cousin, my nephews and niece and nephew. They've always got a fundraiser going on. So I get it. It's not easy. But we appreciate all the tuning in, all the comments, all the watching, all the sharing. Please share this video with your friends. After you make your selections, of course, then let them know what kind of good things we have available. We really appreciate that word of mouth. It helps so much. Since we don't really have a lot of money to spend in advertising, we do rely on your word of mouth, you letting people know that you like what we do. Thank you so much for tuning in again, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye, everybody.